appreciation and thanks to the extended to the organizing team for their wise vision about the importance of research, which is traced back to the ancient Egyptian era. Ancient Egyptians was very did tremendous work in the medicine, which is accomplished by the research, of course. That makes Herodot about 450 years BCE to say that in medicine, Egyptian or ancient Egyptians lead the others far behind them. This is accomplished by research, and based on the importance of the research, which is considered as the locomotive for the development of the healthcare services, the organizers wisely include the panel discussion session about research and the clinical trial, which will take place, inshallah, on Friday at 2 p.m. So you are all cordially invited to this session. They gathered the key persons of the medical research in Egypt, which govern the medical research in all fields. The Ministry of Health and Population, the Supreme Council of University Hospitals, represented by the Central Research Ethics Committee, which I've honored to be the chair, as well as the Egyptian Drug Authority and the labs, the molecular labs, represented by Dr. Khalid Amer and Ikrim. So it is considered as the collaborative work which will present the clinical trial in Egypt in light of the new Egyptian law 214 to the year 2020 that I've honored to be part of the committee that issued this law. Of course, presided in many phases with the Professor Hussein Khalid. And we are going to discuss with the floor the opportunities and what are the domains that we can accomplish for having the multi-center clinical trial in Egypt. Thank you very much and hope you a fruitful event, inshallah.
Thank you, Dr. Dina Shukri. So don't forget presidential session tomorrow at 2 p.m. We will have, I would say, great team to ask questions. Here, basically, we wanted to have a few words in the memory, and should never be forgotten. Dr. Rabab Gaafar, she's been my mentor. She had great work here that continues, and I think because of that, we have a lot of lung cancer activity in Egypt. We have a lot of conferences and a lot of activities. Everybody wants to do lung cancer, but actually inspired by Dr. Rabab Gaafar. So there will be like a little video. I would like Dr. Hoda, Dr. Hussein Khalid, Dr. Mustafa Sarki, they're going to say a couple of words. Maybe after.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for effort and presentation. I would like to assure that Dr. Rabab Gaafar was a great professor, friend, and she has ambitious to improve the situation in lung cancer in Egypt. To push the treatment and the work and research actually, and help everybody to continue the work. And also she had a lot of effort to have presentations outside in the all international groups. She was a great person actually.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أساتذتي زملائي وأبنائي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear professors and guests, I'm very happy here to attend this important event and also in the memory of my wife, Professor Rabab Gaafar. It has been now 1 year since her gun. I just want you to know that cancer is a very important problem in Egypt. According to our national cancer registry, which started in the year 2014. It is a population-based cancer registry, and the number of lung cancer cases among males represents 7.3% of our cancer cases among males in the whole of Egypt. The number are more than 4,800 cases, and we are expecting to have more and more numbers of lung cancer cases in the future, in addition also to the mesothelioma. And Rabab has done a great deal of work in this aspect, and I hope you are going to continue. And I am optimistic about the new initiative, presidential initiatives regarding the early detection of lung cancer, one of the most common cancers in the country. I hope that these initiatives concentrate more on the prevention and early detection rather than concentrating on treatment aspects, because we are in a developing country and we need to spend our money in the right direction. We have two successful stories in this regards. We had the successful story of overcoming bladder cancer after controlling bilharziosis. Bilharziosis was the most common disease among rural areas, representing about 70%. And after a very comprehensive media campaign and treatment campaign of bilharziosis in the 80s of the last century, now we do not see bladder cancer, although it was number one. The other successful story is the eradication of HCV in the country, because now liver cancer is number one among our males and number two among females. And if we could, and now we succeeded in eradicating HCV, we will have a rapid decrease in liver cancer in the coming 5 or 10 years. I hope you the success with this regard in lung cancer as well. Thank you very much, and I hope you an excellent conference.
Good morning, my colleagues and friends. I actually very enthusiastic about the Egyptian Society of Cancer Diseases, and actually this is goes back for the initiative of our lovely iconic lady, Professor rabab Gaafar, which I know her since her the very beginning days of her residency in the National Cancer Institute. She was a very nice lady, and she is very enthusiastic to learn more and more. And actually she had an interest in lung cancer early, and when she getting the professorship, she actually was presenting Egypt as the regional representative of the Middle East in the ESMO, and our representative in the EORTC. She shared a lot of clinical trials which we consider it is a milestone mark in the treatment of lung cancer. And actually she has also very important role in prevention of pollution and contamination, especially in the nearby metropolitan area known as Hilwan, where the asbestos was abandoned, and this also is a very hard to eradicate in Egypt, but we succeeded to stop manufacturing the use of the asbestos in industry many years ago. The Professor Rabab, actually, she was very cooperative with all her colleagues, her professors, and also for the young generation. And actually, she was like a motherhood for the young generation. And one of very successful example is my colleague and my friend, Dr. Nagla. She was a resident in the Egyptian Cancer Society, and Rabab encouraged her to go to the United States, and she has a residency starting from scratch. She gets the board of medical oncology certification, and now she is a full professor of oncology, and she continued the way in the research and treatment of lung cancer. As Professor Hussein said, that the lung cancer is a very common disease among our Egyptian, and according to the official statistics of Egypt, we have about 30 million smokers in Egypt. Egypt is considered one of the largest worldwide consumption of tobacco, and we are also pleased to have the presidential initiative for early detection and prevention of cancer. Dr. Rabab, actually with the NSCI, have since many years ago with the Egyptian Cancer Society, we are starting knowing the general population about the danger of smoking and the example of late discovery of lung cancer and mesothelioma. And I hope that the new initiative, as Dr. Hussein said, will concentrate on the eradication of smoking. And we have a good example which we succeeded in the eradication of the diseases by treatment. The media now playing a very major role in the human behavior. And I think one of the most important part of the initiative is to engage the media, because this is very effective, and most of our population will have a very good impression about the cessation of smoking. I am very pleased and thankful for my colleague, also Professor Abdulrahman Muhammad, and my colleague Dr. Huda Abdelbay. Both of them actually play a major role to attract international speakers to attend this meeting, to get their experience and to expose them for our experience in Egypt, to collaborate between the different centers in Egypt about cancer, lung, and to trying to decrease the incidence of disease among our population. Thank you very much, and welcome to Egypt, and hopefully for you a fruitful conference, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mustafa Sarafi, so much. Are we playing that video, or should we get started? You want to get started?
السرطان شكله اتغير عن زمان، ويا ريت الناس ما تخافش منه، عشان اللي بيخاف بيجي متأخر، لكن اللي ما بيخافش بيبقى الاكتشاف بتاعه مبكر. والاكتشاف المبكر أهم حاجة في السرطان ممكن إنها تؤدي إلى الشفاء.
Yeah, well, this was very, very touchy. Professor Dr. Rabab Gaafar, I think she still has her presence, even though maybe she's not physically with us today, but her spirits and her hard work continues to exist. So as a conclusion, I'm going to get started with our first speaker. We are honored to have Dr. David Gandara here today with us. He's Professor Emeritus at the University of California, UC Davis, and also he's the CMO of the Liquid Biopsy Foundation. Dr. David Gandara is going to talk about the advantage role and the advancing role of liquid biopsy in lung cancer. Big hand to Dr. David Gandara.